Tell me about your podcast. Tell me about your podcast.
That was the best joke. Doing a podcast called Schmactors with Mark Devine and Jason DeFilippo. We do half hour. We do just audible podcast because what we're doing now with all the lights and all the cameras
Too much.
and stuff, I'm like,
you don't need it. We'll just
do that. So Mark Devine is the funniest man I've ever met in my life. And I met him when I was taking myself very seriously and I had lost my sense of humor. Parenthood did that to me.
You think you get more of a sense of humor with Parenthood? You really would
hope so. You hope so.
Yeah.
But between the experiences of celebrity, which tempts me to take myself seriously,
yes,
or did, and then Parenthood, which is not easy, and I wasn't perfect at it. I had no sense of humor. I had lost it. And then I met Mark and I just started ripping off his jokes, and I would tell his jokes back to him and he would laugh politely. And I just adopted the character of Mark Devine and just tried that on and rediscovered my own sense of humor through that. And he really saved me as far as that side of me.
You needed this, didn't you?
I really did. Yeah. He was one of these people that you
the
talk
jump
about.
Start.
Yeah, that was a big jump start in my life. And we became fast friends. And then he moved to Atlanta because his wife, he had had a son, and his wife wanted to be near her family to raise the kid. And he called me. He's like, James, I don't feel funny anymore. I'm doing Parenthood and it's hard. And I've lost my sense of humor. And I want to do a project with you. And because I miss you and I miss talking with you and I want to get back. And so we put together this idea where we just sit down and take questions from the house, from the audience, and we just expound. The basic premise is, are all actors self-entitled pricks, or do they actually have any interesting ideas in their head?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Or is it a little bit of both, maybe?
Yeah. And when I was listening to you, I listened to one episode and it felt so just raw. It felt raw and like you were doing your thing. And I could tell there was so much enjoyment.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important when you're doing a podcast, that if people know that you're confident in what you're doing and you're enjoying it and you have something to say, you've won.
That's the thing, is like when Mark and I get together, everyone's just like, we love you two. Just when you guys are like bouncing off each other, it's just amazing. And so I knew that the magic is just Mark and I talking about anything, really, because you can tell we're having fun. We're enjoying ourselves. And it was just finding a format that would allow us to do that.
How many episodes have you done?
Done 10.
Is it hard or you just Zoom?
Just Zoom.
And then edit.
Oh, it's great because I get to go into a podcast studio and I have like a little light and a professional microphone and I got a little coffee and I've got that little mints in case my tongue gets dry.
Right.
And Mark is in his house, and he's on his computer.
And you just shoot ideas like, hey, let's talk about this today. Or
like at the we get
the call-ins, the call-ups.
Yeah, we have call-ups and then or we're getting call-ups. That's a new thing that we're getting in.
Right.
But just questions off the people will ask us questions. They'll go into schmactors.com. By the way, it's SCHM actors.
Like schmucks.
Yes, but it's
Schmactors.
A lot of people think it's maybe SH Mactors.
Schmactors. SCHMAS. MACTRS. Yes.
Very good. I couldn't
Yes,
do
yes.
that. Yeah. So schmactors.com, you can go in there and put questions in, and then we go through questions and answer some of them on the show.
And you usually, are there certain questions you won't answer, or you're like, no, there's just something you're looking for when people
like most of it, there's not much that we're like, oh, we can't talk about that. But there are some things that we think that we could get more mileage out of. It's kind of weird. We finally did a Buffy question, and then Mark just went off and interviewed me because he wanted to know the minutia, minute to minute, of auditioning for the role, getting the role, driving to the first, like all the little
Did
tiny
you love
things.
it?
Yeah, like I've talked a lot about Buffy, but he's an actor, and because he was on a lot of oh my God, I forget, a lot of really good stuff.
Right.
IMDb, Mark
Yes.
Devine.
Mark Devine.
So he knew really good questions to ask, and he got me to really remember things I hadn't thought about in years. And we did 2 shows off of one question.
And people loved it.
Yeah, because there's all this new stuff.
Schmactors, and they can listen anywhere, any platform.
Anywhere you get your